Monica in the front, Emmeline, who is Mitch's girlfriend, and then you got Mitch, who's in the back. I finally made it back. I'm actually back at Mount Tam because I wanted to actually go here during the daytime because they've actually never been here before, and I've been here several times and I've always wanted to take them. So Mitch said he's hiked it, but I don't think they've been to this part of Mount Tam before. So I'm gonna take them in and let them enjoy the view. Peace out.
What?
You don't see it, bro? Right there, look.
Oh,
look at that
mantis.
Yeah. Hey, watch out, bro. Look, it's right there. Look, man. You just, you know, make it upset.
Come on.
You ain't about to. It's about to attack you.
Oh, it's looking at it, gonna attack. Oh, shit. So, going to one of the most iconic spots in San Francisco. This is Golden Gate Bridge right here. This is kind of like a problem. So, like, if I roll down my window, a bunch of people are trying to get parking, and you're just waiting in this line for X amount of time. So, I'm trying to go to this bridge. We actually decided to park down by this little parking lot right here just so we could walk. And so I can get my footage and photos and all that. Here's Mitch and Em.
Hi guys, artistry's everything, do up the scientific. Check out that mixtape.
And there y'all have it. So y'all enjoy this B-roll film. Oh shit, it's too dark. Yeah.
But you can't do it like me. But you can't do it like me. Get up, get up, get up, get up. And you got to cut it. And cut it. And cut.
So now, hey,
Shut up. Okay, shut up.
we doing a movie out. Ooh. Hey man, we doing a video music. Hey, video music. We out here. You know what I'm saying? MCM backpack.
You know what it is. I got bands on deck. I got bands on a counter. I got bands around my waist because that's for my underwear. Bands. Band times.
Where's that? Where is the tickets at? Kingsman, that's MoMA. Where's that ticket at? We actually ended up watching Kingsman, the second movie, the Golden Circle one. It's actually a really good movie, but it's actually pretty long. It was a little over 2 hours, but yeah, we watched that after doing all the stuff in San Francisco. So throughout the day, I was trying to figure out what I was gonna talk about, how I was gonna end the vlog, and I thought about it and I said, you know what? They just retroed the Super Nintendo system. So I got 3 systems here. The N64, which is my favorite. And you obviously have the original one that first time they retroed it. This is actually the original one. This one still works. So OG, the original. This is one that they recently retroed this past weekend. I didn't get it. It was retailed at $70, $80. Now it's reselling for about like $180, $200, $250, or however much it's going for. Obviously this has some yelling on it, but this is the original one and it still works. I just want to talk about, you know, them retroing game systems, and I think it's cool and all, but there's still something about the fact of having the original game console system. This is the original Nintendo system. I am a gamer. I was actually supposed to go to school for game development, game storyboards, some type thing, but I didn't. I decided to pursue a different path. That's another whole different story, but this is the original one. It still works. And I actually got a couple games here, and one of my favorites, well, this is the one that started off for a lot of people. This is none other than the original Super Mario Brothers. This is a Duck Hunt. This is with the gun that goes. This is the original one, but my all-time favorite game from the original system is none other than Super Mario Brothers 3. This game right here is my all-time favorite. No matter how many times they retro it or come back with it, remix it, whatever they do to it, this is my all-time favorite game. When Game Boy Advance actually came out, which is this guy here, I actually ended up getting this, and I think the game is in there, or it's probably, but Yeah, here's a game in itself for, yeah, Game Boy Advance. Yeah, this is my all-time favorite game. I never get tired of this game. This is just an instant classic. Don't get me wrong, there's other good games on the original system. You know, I don't really play RPGs or anything, so if someone does say Zelda or the other types of classics, don't get me wrong, you know, they're all fun, but that's not my type of games that I do like. Classic Donkey Kong. This was really fun too. My older brother actually played this game a lot, Top Gun. Now you get to this guy here, which is the original Super Nintendo system, or SNES, and you know, this one still works. I have another console, well, another version of this, a second one as a backup, and it works. This is just a cleaner one. I actually got more here because the original Super Nintendo system, that was my older brother's. He played not so much, but he had it. This one is the All-Star. It's kind of like a mix of all the Mario's games all into one, so it's really dope to have. Here's the Zelda. This one's kind of more sought after, or one of the best, you know, Super Nintendo games that, you know, a lot of people would mention. Bart's Nightmare, if you like this game, you already know what's up. You know, you got Home Alone, and then you got Carnage. So again, you know, good games. And what am I really trying to say is, well, hold on. Here's another of the Mario, you know, Super Mario World. This one is another classic. This is a really fun game. Comparing, you know, these two, obviously, it's up to you. Either way, they're both fun, classic games, and you can really never go wrong with both of these. Yeah, there's just a handful of games here, so oh, look at this. As I'm going through this pile, here's, you know, two of them again. As I'm going through this pile again, I just wanted to mention or ask you guys if you guys ended up getting the retro Super Nintendo system, or, you know, or for yourself, do you have the system that still plays? You know, I found a couple more games here. Star Wars, a Star Wars game. Shout out to the people that plays NBA. This one was a banger, and Donkey Kong can never go wrong. You see, obviously see how it's faded, how, you know, you played it so much and left it in the sun, or just the oxides, but yeah, classic game. And you know, that really just brings me to my, you know, the subject, or what I'm mainly talking about is, did you guys end up getting this, or did you pass up on it? You don't want to pay it? You know, it does come with all the games. That's the one thing I do appreciate why they retroed it. It's all into one. It's way smaller than this, and I think that's the great thing about it, that they retroed it. You know, kids that never had a chance to actually play these kind of games can actually enjoy, you know, from our kind of generation to enjoy it now in this current generation. And that brings me to this game console system right here. This one's, you know, it's still dusty, which is on this side over here of this part of like shoe room, the man cave area. It's like over here is where I keep all the games and everything. And I've kept more of like all the original consoles. There's PlayStation, PS2, Dreamcast, Sega Genesis, you know, Sega CD, and all those kind of games. Like I said, I've grown up on these games. I stick to it. It's something that I've always wanted to do, and I just really like playing video games. There's really nothing wrong with people playing video games, and the term nerd, it's kind of weird because, you know, what is really considered a nerd nowadays if a lot of weird or nerd things are appreciated in this world as of today. N64 was my childhood, like, growing up game. This was my all-time favorite system. So when whoever owns this current, like, I guess Nintendo, or whenever they retro the N64, I will probably go out of my way to get it. And if you are wondering what my all-time favorite games are, alright, you're gonna have to push some stuff aside. Here's one stack. Here's another stack. Did also want to talk about the controllers. This is like the original one, a pretty basic, straightforward. You got your B and A, you got your directional pad, and the select and start. You know, the sizing of these controllers is pretty tight. There's no top buttons here or back buttons on the controller, but original controller. They kind of like advanced it with the Super Nintendo, which is this controller here. Again, you do have, like, you know, the directional pad, which is here. 4 buttons. You got your start and selects, and they had 2 top buttons here. But when you get into the N64, this controller was very interesting because it's kind of like, I don't know how the concept was. A lot of people, you know, for games, they would play it where the joystick in the middle, you would have your left hand, which you do this. Then you have your right hand with on the A and the B and the C buttons here, or the top buttons right here. I know some games you could play it like this, and then, you know, for most games they would play it like this. But this one is the see-through, the purple, and it has the Z button on the back, which is quite. And then back then they had like the memory pack, the rumble pack if you wanted the vibration, but this is the purple clear controller one. And you know, I have a stacks of the games here. You know, I got Turok. The games that I am gonna be showing you guys that are like classics that I think everyone is probably would most likely would agree with me, or, you know, say for those saying, oh, you don't have this game, you don't have that game. It's not that I don't have it or I've never played it. It's something that I wasn't really into that type of genre of game, you know, like Zelda, for example. But growing up, I used to watch a lot of wrestling, so and that's the good thing about these. So if you were to like drop them on like, you know, on a hard concrete floor or a hard surface, they really break because these things are like built solid. Game Diddy Kong Racing, that's another classic. You got WrestleMania, Harvest Moon, Star Wars Rogue Squadron. This was a really fun game. Snowboard Kids 2, this was like one of my favorites. Diddy Kong Racing, hours and hours and invested in this game. Probably the best wrestling game next to probably WrestleMania 2000. Instant classic. This is probably the best wrestling game in N64, hands down. Another like futuristic racing game, F-Zero. This is a really fun game. Don't need to say much about this. You guys already know this is the very first Mario Party. You got another than in Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Snap. I can't find Pokemon Stadium 2, but if you did play these, you already know what's up. Getting to the very last, you got this classic here. Real fun, can't go wrong with this. You guys already know what's up if you did play this, and it's crazy how far they've gone with this game. Last but not least, and again, if you are a Zelda fan, I do apologize. I just wasn't into RPGs and I don't have the Zelda game, but I do have these classics here. This is none other than GoldenEye 007, by far the all-time #1 game, or one of the funniest games of N64. This guy here, I can't tell you how many times of hours played on this game. Guy right here, Super Smash and 007. These are my all-time favorite games of N64. Probably out of all these games, besides like the wrestling and all these guys here. To wrap up this somewhat nostalgic reminisce, and I just want to talk about if you guys did get the retro Nintendo system or the Super Nintendo system. I can't wait when they retro this system, because I'm really gonna cop it, and it's gonna have all the games that I never had. It's gonna be built in. It's probably gonna be way more smaller, and it's probably gonna have this design here, and they'll probably include like crazy different colors: green, red, blue, yellow, and all those. Can't wait for this to retro. I'll catch you guys on the next vlog. Let me know down below in the comments section what you guys think with the whole vlog, first of all, and the systems and everything. What's your favorite games for those who grew up in my generation playing these games? And just overall, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. And if you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys in the next vlog. And I think you guys already know it's gonna be good.